Hey, we are live and we will be rebroadcasting this as a recording on both YouTube and Facebook. So never fear if you can't catch us live, you can always catch us on the rebroadcast. But welcome for joining us. I am so happy you are here. Today is Valentine's Day, and we will be sharing, or I will be sharing with you, and hopefully you'll be sharing with me, some ways that we celebrate Valentine's in our house. And I would love to hear how you celebrate holidays like Valentine's in your house. So welcome. My name is Diane, and for the past 25 years, I have been helping women find nutrition plans and fitness programs to help them look and feel their best and live their most authentic life. And as a certified nutrition coach, we are practicing that here in this community through intermittent fasting and creating an intermittent fasting lifestyle that helps us look and feel our best and live our most authentic life. So welcome. As always, if you're new, please take a second to hit that like button or subscribe button, and always feel free to share this with anyone that you think would benefit from hearing this broadcast. And sharing this is also a really great way for you to be able to come back to this conveniently if you wanted to rewatch this, or maybe you have to jump off early and you can't catch the end. Sharing this will place this on your Facebook timeline so that you can go back and find this very conveniently where you spend your time. So we are going to be talking today about Valentine's Day and holidays sort of in general, mostly the Hallmark kind of holidays. So we have something in our family that we call the little Johnny rule. And this is something that I teach in our course, where we've just made a very conscious decision that we do not follow other people's practices, or we don't follow other people's kind of party habits when we have a certain way that we want to live. So the little Johnny rule is something that we just kind of state in our family so that we don't feel pressured or feel the need to make other people feel good about a party that they're throwing, or an event that they're having, or a holiday that they're celebrating, if we choose to not partake. And Valentine's Day has really become sort of that thing for us as well, where we don't really buy into all the hype of Valentine's Day. We really do make it a special day for our family, and I'll share with you kind of how we've made some sort of traditions for Valentine's Day for us. But we don't buy into all the Hallmarky hype type of stuff that Valentine's Day often can lead to and cause a bunch of pressure for ourselves. So and here's a good thing I always like to mention about Valentine's Day and holidays like this too. If you don't have a Valentine's Day, this is a really good opportunity to be your own Valentine. So maybe splurge on something that you've been really wanting to have for yourself and maybe haven't really been able to justify it, or have today be a really good day for yourself as far as fasting clean, maybe getting a really good workout in, getting to bed early. Just a pampering day for yourself. Valentine's shouldn't be that we're waiting for someone to come sweep us off our feet. It should be really a day where we can maybe set aside to do something special for ourselves so that we feel good about ourselves and don't have to depend on someone else. So Valentine's Day for us has really become a really fun family day. As Logan was kind of growing up, he always was playing baseball, and it never failed that there was always a baseball practice scheduled on Valentine's Day at our house. So we always made Valentine's Day sort of a special day for our kids, more so than Michael and I, because they've been busy in school, and like I said, Logan had baseball practice and stuff like that. So the tradition that we have in our house for Valentine's Day is that we celebrate everything red. So we've always had a red dinner at Valentine's Day, or a special treat that was red. And when I mean red, I mean everything. Like, we make sure there's red in our salad. Traditionally, we have sort of like a spaghetti type of dinner. So we have red sauce, and we've made a red drink. And then we always make sure that we have some sort of special dessert for Valentine's Day that has some sort of red or special thing built in for us, so that we don't necessarily have to indulge in a bunch of Hallmarky type of things. We don't typically exchange Valentine's cards. Michael is really attentive to what my love language is, and he knows that I am not a Hallmark girl at all. So a fancy Valentine's card and a bunch of chocolates or flowers is not really what makes me feel appreciated. Really, am very vocal about my love language, and Michael's very, like I said, he's very attentive, and so he knows that, you know, flowers spontaneously on March 17th mean so much more to me than a bunch of flowers delivered and wrapped up on Valentine's Day. Like, that doesn't necessarily do anything for me. However, I also understand Michael's love language, and Michael loves to give special gifts. So we are always appreciative when Michael does those things for us in the house as well. So he was super sweet today and brought home a dozen long stem red roses that Gabby and I will split as a gift from the Valentine in our life. So we appreciate that Michael has thought of us, and he loves to give gifts. So we have to make sure that we're paying attention and appreciating his love language. And he's very attentive to my love language, knowing that all I really want for Valentine's Day is the people that I love to be happy and home and safe with us, and partaking in what I love to do, which is cooking a really nice, wholesome dinner for my family with a little splash of red on it as our way of making it just something extra special on Valentine's Day. And it's really cool because I had a great conversation with Logan last night about Valentine's Day. And, you know, I asked him, you know, if he had any Valentine he was going to do anything special for, or more importantly, was he expecting something from someone for Valentine's Day? And it was really cool, his sort of perception of Valentine's Day. And I have to credit my husband for this. I'm thinking Logan that has probably been paying attention and watching what his dad has done. But, you know, Logan's idea of Valentine's Day is he really thinks that it is an opportunity for men to make the women in their lives feel extra special. And that was something that totally warmed my heart when he said that yesterday, because, you know, if he really practices that and believes that, then, you know, he'll know that that's also special on other days of the year as well, because he's watched his dad model that, and knows that, you know, it is maybe that time where if he has a girlfriend or a wife in the future, that maybe their love language is to be treated on these kind of holidays, that he's already kind of tuned in to realizing that it's his job to make sure that the woman in his life still feels special. So I felt like Michael and I were doing a really good job, knowing that that's the way that Logan sort of is perceiving a holiday like today. So how do you partake in Valentine's Day if you're fasting and trying to feast well? Well, like I said, we have really catered our Valentine's Day family dinner around what it is that we already do. We just kind of spice it up a little bit with a theme of something for today, so the kids feel like we're celebrating the holiday. And so we are going to be making, and I'm going to Instagram story this tonight for you guys, so you'll be able to see what it is that we're making. But we're going to make a big pot of a chicken cooked in spaghetti sauce with some vegetable broth, so it ends up being more like a soup, a tomato soup type of thing. We're going to throw a bunch of vegetables in it. The kids will have theirs with pasta, probably. Last time I made this, they had nothing on it but just what I made, so I'll give them the option for some pasta. For Michael and I, we will have the soup that I'm making, and it'll be full of a bunch of amazing fresh vegetables. And then I'm going to be making our keto-like brownies tonight for a special dessert. And I'll share with you guys what that recipe is. So we won't necessarily be going outside of our norm of what we like to do. We'll have a very clean sort of tomato vegetable soup with some chicken in it for dinner. I'm going to make my keto-like brownies for dessert, which will be a very low carb, very low sugar type of dessert. And Michael and I will probably partake in a glass of Pinot Noir, again, a glass of wine that we have experimented with, that we know will not put us over the edge and take us on a huge sugar binge. So tomorrow morning we'll be feeling awful. It's everything within the guidelines that we have incorporated for ourselves in adapting this keto-like lifestyle that we've been living. We worked out today, we fasted long today, we fasted clean today, and we'll jump right back into things tomorrow. So the big message that I want you guys to really get about holidays like this is don't get sucked in to changing or going off track with what it is you've set up for yourself as far as routine and boundaries. Don't get sucked into the hype of it. Do what you feel genuinely works for you. Make sure that you're expressing what your love language is to your significant other so that they're on track with what it is that you're trying to do. Make sure you're listening to your partner's love language so that you can also make them feel loved and appreciated. And Valentine's Day really should be about taking that little extra step or that little extra moment to just let people know in your life that you love them. That does not mean that you need to douse them with a bunch of candy or overconsume alcohol or go out of your boundaries with what it is that you want to do to celebrate a good dinner. Stay within your guidelines, because here's what happens if you don't. Tomorrow you will have regret. Tomorrow you will feel guilty. Tomorrow you will be bummed out. And there's no reason that you should ever feel those emotions after you've spent time with someone that you love and appreciate and that you care for. You want to make sure that tomorrow you feel authentic about decisions that you made, that you feel genuine about time that you spent with someone, and that you're honoring what it is that you want to have for your life, so that you stay authentic, so that the person that you're spending time with gets the real you, and you're not pretending to be someone else on a Hallmark holiday, and then the next day you're feeling guilt about time that you spent with someone that should have really been genuine. So stay true to yourself, create customs and traditions that are going to be authentic to you and your family, model behavior that you want your kids to pick up on, so that when they become adults and start making decisions about these types of holidays, they don't get sucked into the hype either. I was at Trader Joe's doing some grocery shopping last night, and it was pathetic how many people were frantically buying flowers and frantically buying cards and trying to fill them out really quick at the register, so that, you know, everything was in place so that they didn't get in trouble. I think I heard 2 people say, you know, they didn't want to get in trouble for forgetting Valentine's Day. And that really shouldn't be the message that we're trying to send. It should come from your heart. And it should always be geared toward what your person's love language is, while still honoring what it is that your love language is as well. So hopefully you guys have shared with me some of the traditions that you have for Valentine's Day. I'm going to go through and welcome everyone for being here with us. I'm sorry we were a couple minutes late jumping on. We have, for those of you who are in the United States, you've probably seen this on the news as well, but there's been a horrific school shooting at a high school in Florida. So Michael and I were a little bit distracted with that. And our son Logan had actually had one of those experiences last year where they were in lockdown at his high school because of a bomb threat, and I believe at one point they thought it was an active shooter at school as well, and that was a huge learning experience for us that I'll share with you guys maybe in a couple of weeks of what we learned from that and what our son learned from that in those type of situations. It's super sad, and the situation is still going on there, so we were a little bit distracted, and hopefully no one here is affected by that. I will definitely be saying some prayers tonight for all the families affected in Florida today. Okay, so let me see who's on. Make sure if you jumped on and you haven't left me a comment yet, please leave me a comment so I know that you're here, and share with me what maybe a favorite Valentine's memory is for you, or something that you're doing special tonight for your Valentine. Carol, happy Valentine's Day. Nice to have you here. Linda from the February group, thank you so much for answering my question and encouraging me. Linda, that's what I'm here for. Thank you so much for reaching out. I always love it when you guys reach out for some help and some clarification. I appreciate you clearing things up, so thank you. Tarsha, happy Valentine's Day to you. Joy, hello and happy Valentine's Day. Max, hello. Christina, I think it's actually Nina, so sorry I keep calling you Max. Christina, hello. Can't wait for the March class to start. I know I can't wait for it to start either. It's going to be super fun, and we have a great group of women gathering up for March, so stay excited and stay focused here with us until then. That way when you jump in, it's just that much easier for you. Let's see, Sharon from Sacramento, welcome. Thanks for jumping on. Cindy, hello. Nina, yep, so Nina, got your name right second time through. Carrie, hello, happy Valentine's Day. Janice, hello. Linda, hello. Donna, hello. Jillian, happy Valentine's Day. Going for dinner with my partner, staying keto-like. Perfect. I can't wait to hear how it goes tomorrow. Now, Jillian, when you go keto-like, do you just modify things in a restaurant, or is there a specific restaurant that you go to that sort of caters to that kind of lifestyle? Carol, a trip to Lush for something special for me and my daughter. Oh, Carol, that sounds perfect. That sounds awesome. Let's see what we got over here. Jennifer, this is Jenny. I'm heading to O'Hare to pick up Darren. He's on his way home from California. I've got his dog Chico at my side. Oh, that sounds sweet. I'm glad he was able to make his event. I know it was kind of sketchy there for a while with the weather, so I'm glad he was able to get out and get back home. Kim from North Carolina, I apologize if you answered this yesterday, but I couldn't find the answer. My question is there anything I could do before March 10th class to be prepared? Yes, the best advice I can give my students who are registered for a future class is start paying attention to your body. Start paying attention to signs and signals that your body is sending you throughout your day when you're in your feasting window. And pay attention to how you're feeling in your fasted state and start journaling those kind of things. If you start paying attention now, then what will happen when we get into those really good, deep fasts together as a group, the signs and signals will be super obvious to you and you'll be able to make adjustments so much faster. So the best advice I could give you is start keeping a food journal and a food log and really paying attention to how you feel when you're in your feasted and fasted state. Let's see, my comments went away over here on YouTube. Let's see. Jenny, the Pio family celebrates. Nice. Lisa, day 2 of IF and feeling good. Great. You practice with homemade cards and treats. Very simple. Yes. And I bet, do you bake something, Jenny? Because I know you bake a lot. Donna from SoCal, I had a rough 2 weeks staying IF with my son in the hospital. He's back at home and I'm getting back on track. Awesome, Donna. You know, and the thing that I always suggest, and I know it's difficult when we go through stressful situations, but fasting, especially being in a truly fasted state and feeding yourself foods that you've identified really do make you feel strong and clear mentally. Those are the best things you can do when you're under a stressful situation. And I know it's hard to do. Just naturally, we tend to go, you know, the other way. We kind of throw in the towel on intermittent fasting and we tend to eat foods that we normally don't. And all that's going to do is make you feel emotionally, mentally, and physically drained. So this is where I really encourage you guys to stay with me even post your class or jump into a class for a second time, is that we really need to get ourselves to the point of being healed about how we emotionally interact with food when life throws us a curveball. And when you really get healed to the deepest level emotionally with food and you thrive in a fasted and a feasted state, and you can make those really conscious decisions regardless of the stress or whatever outside factors are going on in your life. That's what I really considered a fully healed woman. And it takes a little longer to adapt to that than it does just the clean old fasting and feasting, because because of the hormones that are released and those reactions that we have in our body when we're in that stressful situation. So being able to really identify those releases of hormones and to be able to control them sort of naturally without throwing everything, you know, to the wayside and going to old behaviors is really where I want you guys to all end up. I feel like I'm there. We've had some stressful situations come up in our life, and I always turn to fasting long and hard during stress because it makes me feel strong and it makes me feel powerful. And oftentimes when I indulge in those things that are not so great for me, I feel weak and it's almost beaten down. So really work on consciously staying in that moment when stress happens and thrive in the environment of being in a truly fasted state, and let your body help you power through that. Because when the stress is gone, you don't want to be a hot mess and feel like you have to start over again. You want the stress to be gone and you want to be right there to enjoy that moment with being empowered and feeling healthy. Joy, I'm making a gift for him of services throughout the year since his love language is service. Joy, that's awesome. I think that's fantastic. My husband drives over the road through the week, so we plan to drive north to the city on Saturday. I hope to see a showman and to eat at the aquarium restaurant he remodeled years ago. Oh, that sounds so romantic. That sounds super fun. Romy, let's see what we got here. We are fasting until we make our healthy dinner today. Yes, cooking together, and we'll enjoy a glass of a grass-fed steak with salad, homemade gluten-free low-carb apple cake. He bought me orchids, my favorite, simple, healthy, and from the heart. Yep, that's great. That sounds like a super fantastic Valentine's Day. And tomorrow you won't have to have a post-Valentine's Day regret or feel like you have to make up for something, which I think is fantastic. Pamela, you're watching the grandkids. Girlfriend, you are the best grandma. I hope Michael and I will be grandparents like you are for your kids. I think that's fantastic. So that'll be a great great time for you, and I'm sure your grandkids and your kids appreciate that. Jillian, we're going for barbecue food, easy to stay keto at that place. Yeah, good for you. And here's the thing, just barbecue, just FYI, we had a barbecue place open up here close to us, and everybody was super excited because we had a barbecue place open up. And I read the label for their barbecue sauce, and it has soy in it. So we don't go there to eat because everything is covered in barbecue sauce, and all their barbecue sauce has soy in it. So just make sure you know what's in that food at the restaurant that you're eating at, and make sure you don't end up getting exposed to something you've kind of cleansed your body with. Cool. Diane, welcome. Nice to see you. Happy Valentine's Day to you too. Okay, cool. Let me see who else I got over here on YouTube. Donna, feeling the hot mess. Yeah, that's okay. These are all great experiences to have. And the longer you fast, remember, time and consistency are those things that are really good for us. So the more time you have under your belt, the more consistently you're exercising your fasting windows, the more it'll just become that natural thing that you do when something goes haywire on you. So we really want to practice that time and consistency thing. And that's why I really emphasize, especially in our course, that we're not racing to a finish line. Where it's not a diet thing. We're not trying to get to a certain point and then evaluate everybody's progress against everybody else's. It's a journey through life that we're going on, and we're going to tweak and adjust as life happens. And then we're going to learn from some things that kind of go on in our life, and then pick up and adjust there, which is why journaling is super important in this kind of process, and really will help us establish a lifestyle that we can manage forever. Because when stuff kind of goes crazy, we're not going to feel like we have to abandon what we used to do. Remember, that's how diets are sort of set up. And this is not any sort of diet philosophy at all. You're creating your own lifestyle around food based on how you want to look and feel and be most authentic. And there's not very many women that I know that authentically want to be a hot mess. It sort of happens on accident. And so keep that in mind too. You know, when stuff starts to go crazy, ask yourself, how do I want to feel when this situation corrects itself? And then make your decisions according to that. You know, a lot of times what we do and the decisions that we make, we don't think it through before we start making decisions or before we start reacting. So really consider thinking things through and asking yourself a series of questions so that you can make the appropriate reactions based on how something is going to happen for you in the future, and maybe not so much in that moment right now. And that really does help. We've stopped talking to ourselves for some reason. And I think when we get back to having those conversations with ourselves, then we can get those questions answered, and we'll have a different way of dealing with things than we have in the past. Okay, cool. Thanks so much for jumping on. Homemade cards and treats. Yes, you guys are awesome. Let's see if we've got anything else over here on Facebook. Maria, love when my daughter makes me homemade cards, letting me know that I'm the best mom ever. Oh, that's so sweet. And knows I don't eat candy. Yes, instead they all bought me chemical-free lotion, and I got my air fryer. Yes, I can't wait till you can use your air fryer. I made bacon for the kids this morning in the air fryer. Y'all, like, it is the best. The bacon comes out amazing. There's no greasy mess in the kitchen because it's all enclosed in the air fryer. I took the bacon out, I dumped the grease out, washed it with a little soap and hot water, and we were on our way. So I can't wait for you to use your air fryer. It's so fun. I will definitely be using it tonight, making your super tasty sweet potatoes. Okay, awesome. Make sure that you let me know how it worked out for you. What about when you're sick? Should you continue to fast? Absolutely. Fasting heals everything. Tamiko, February course. My husband travels. Oh, we already did that one. Okay, cool. Well, thanks so much, Rosemary. She would tell you yes. Oh, was that the thing? Yeah, definitely. Fasting is the best way to cure anything. So, if you're feeling under the weather, just, fast. The biggest thing about fasting is that, what else would you do? Like, are you going to just snack on a bunch of stuff or just force feed yourself? Oftentimes when you're sick, you don't feel like eating anyway. So listen to those signs and signals. Our bodies are super intuitive. They're going to tell you exactly what you need to do. So make sure that you're connected with me on Instagram, because tonight I will Insta story everything that we're making for our family, including how I make my keto-like brownies. And then eventually we're going to put that on a blog post for you guys somewhere to be able to reference back. But I will be sharing with you what it is that we're doing for Valentine's Valentine's Day tonight. So I would love for you to join us there on Instagram stories. You'll see it a little bit after the fact, but it will be posted for a full 24 hours if you guys want to check it out there. And then welcome to everyone who's jumped into our March course. I'm so excited to have you. Our February group is doing fantastic. They just entered week 2 and they are doing great. The results that we're getting back and the testimonials that women are sharing in their aha moments have just been phenomenal, as they are every month about this point, and you guys are going to be there with these ladies in just a few weeks. So thank you so much for registering if you've already registered. And if you haven't registered yet, make sure that you check the links in both YouTube and Facebook. We always have them posted for you. We are still doing an early bird special, so maybe ask your spouse if they will register you for the intermittent fasting course for March. That would be a fantastic Valentine's Day present as well. So I hope you guys enjoy your time with whoever it is that loves on you and that who you love on today. Make sure you stay within your own personal boundaries. Don't have any regrets. Don't have any guilt about what it is that you're doing today, because that just erases the time that you've authentically tried to spend with the people that you love. Let's see. I think I just saw another comment come through. Margaret, does Michael go live on Friday on a certain time, or does he post certain topics on his keto family life? That's a good question. Thank you so much for asking that. Fridays at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time, we go live on the IF Keto Family Life Facebook page, and he and I are working this week to try to set up a schedule so we can actually provide more keto-like information over there for families and men. I know it's a lot different for us women sometimes, so we will. We're going to start gearing up and amping up that page as well over the next couple of weeks. So make sure that you like and you're set up for notifications over there. Fridays, 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. Michael and I will be going live over there, and Michael will be going live by himself over there. And this Friday, we're going to be talking about gout specifically, and how intermittent fasting and nutritional choices can either make your gout worse or could actually make it better. And Michael's going to share his own personal experience with what he had been going through with his gout and how he's feeling today. So you definitely want to make sure you check into that on Friday, 3 p.m. Central Standard Time over on our IF Keto Family Life page. Kara's posted the links for that too. So if you guys don't mind, I'm going to jump off because Michael and I are going to go start our Valentine celebration with our family. I will check in with you guys again tomorrow, Thursday. Right? Yeah, Thursday, 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. I hope you can join me. If you're catching this on the rebroadcast, please feel free to share with us what it is that you do on Valentine's Day. I always circle back and make sure that I connect with you in the comment section after our broadcast is posted. Have a super fantastic Valentine's Day.